And to the people of Michigan, serving as your governor has been the honor of a lifetime. Thank you for putting your trust in me. And finally,
Governor Gretchen Whitmer delivered her final State of the State speech in Lansing tonight. When she leaves office at the end of the year, she will wrap up 22 years at the state capitol, from the House to the Senate, and then the last 8 years as governor. Political reporter Rick Albert was in Lansing and has more on what the governor focused on in her last joint session appearance.
Not surprisingly, the governor took some time to take a look back over what's been a long career here in Lansing.
Members of the Joint Convention, the governor of the great state of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer.
When Whitmer took the office of governor, it was the first time in 16 years that someone would occupy the office in the Romney building who had legislative experience. And she returned to the chamber where she first served to give her final State of the State.
in 2000, I was elected to the House. During my first term, I had my first child, Sherry. She was named after my mom, who was fighting brain cancer and lived just long enough to meet her namesake. In my second term, I had my second child, Sydney. And after a few terms in the House, I won a seat in the Senate in a special election. I literally gave my farewell remarks and walked off this floor, across the rotunda, and was sworn into the Senate. One of my House colleagues joked that the average IQ of both chambers went up that day.
As for the year ahead, the governor pushed for more attention to teaching young people to read, an ongoing issue in the state.
I just released my final executive budget recommendation, which included the largest targeted literacy investment in Michigan history. The plan has a simple name and a clear goal. Every child reads. It's got 3 parts: early starts, proven methods, and extra help.
On the budget, the governor had a message. Even though the coming budget cycle could be difficult, she was perhaps overly optimistic.
I am eager to work with you all again on our last balanced bipartisan budget. And let's get it done on time, June 30th.
Health care and housing costs are also on the governor's radar. She talked about what she sees as successes during her time in office, from a new veterans home to reopening Palisades nuclear plant, among many others. Though she has another 10 months in office, she finished her speech with the feeling of finality.
And of course, my fellow Michiganders, thank you for this opportunity. I start and end every day thinking about you. Because of you, the state of our state is strong. And because of you, I know it always will be. Big Gretch out.
The governor has some time to do some of the things she laid out in her final State of the State speech, but the first issue will be getting a budget done with the legislature, a process that has already begun. In Lansing, Rick Albin, News 8.
And the governor's speech drawing mixed reaction from state lawmakers tonight. News 8's Adriana Doria spoke with leaders on both sides of the aisle and joins us live outside of the Capitol with what they had to say. Adriana.
Brian, as you can imagine, lawmaker reaction tonight really fell down party lines. Democrats are really praising Whitmer's tenure, saying that it was one filled with prosperity, whereas Republicans are doubtful for what this next year might bring. But they all did agree on the key issues that are top of mind: education, health care, and housing. And they all say that in order to achieve their goals, they need to work across party lines.
I thought it was fantastic. You know, it was such a great balance. It's what we've seen from the governor for so long.
Very pleased to hear her talk about things that we can do in a bipartisan manner.
Governor Whitmer, she's always been a good speaker. She's always been a good politician. She's had a lot of practice at this, so of course she's going to have a decent delivery.
So I think there's some optimism, much like we had last year, of there's things that we heard the governor say that I think we have some joint goals and can find a way to get some of this stuff done.
On top of mind, literacy, ensuring children have access to good education and bringing numbers up on the national scale, a topic that both parties agree needs to be addressed.
It's not just money. We've put more money towards schools in the last 10 years than ever before, and we probably need more reforms than ever before.
She was touting all of these wins in education and how we're investing so heavily, and yet under her watch, we have steadily seen our reading scores decline all the way down to 44th in the nation. It's almost like she actually doesn't care.
Look, no one wants to be 44th. And ultimately, this is a problem that was building prior to this governor's term of office, prior to any of us serving, and will take several years to get us out of it. But with steadfast focus on the proven fundamentals to increase literacy, we will see those returns on that investment of time and resources.
Yeah, we need to continue to make sure that we have performers from the 4th grade on, and we do that by having an established building blocks to our curriculum.
As Governor Whitmer continues on in her last term as governor, her 8th and final year, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle say they are hopeful to see what will come next, as the time for Michiganders heading to the ballot box is just a few months away.
Always optimistic about the future because I'm a Michigander. My family's been here for 7 generations. I'm a farm boy. I'm always ready to get to work to make sure that we're improving the state.
Very interesting couple of years. I've seen a lot of different things. We've seen bipartisanship. We've seen absolute takeover with that trifecta. There was very little input from Republicans. I'll say this again. The best policy always comes with compromise and working together.
She delivered for the people of Michigan. We heard a lot about that tonight, and I think that that's first and foremost on the top of my mind.
We've had some really difficult times here in Michigan, and she has really risen to the occasion. And I'm incredibly proud to be her partner in the legislature over the last 4 years as the Senate Majority Leader to face those challenges. And I think we've done a pretty good job.
It is important to also address that a lot of the lawmakers I talked to brought up the budget process. Republicans weary that the budget process could come with some more government spending that they don't want. Democrats are hopeful that they will get what they want when it comes to the budget process. Again, another key issue also is the upcoming midterm elections. Both parties are hopeful and optimistic that it will go the way that they want and that those parties will come out with a win. So again, a lot that we will be focusing on in the upcoming months, and we'll be sure to keep you all updated on air and online as those situations develop. In Lansing, I'm Adriana Doria, News 8.
All right, Adriana, thank you. If you'd like to read more about the governor's speech tonight, we've got our story posted online right now over at woodtv.com.